bang in the amp on. See you riding on. Keep cool, you can ride along, but keep it up, you can ride along. That's the word you got. BK, show me where you are. Word along with the bright star. It's the I say.
Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Grand Sheik of the Moorish Temple of America, International Asiatic Moorish Hip Hop Temple number 23. Those were the sounds of Yasin Bey, song called "The Light Is Not Afraid of the Dark." Gonna do some reading today. The first is coming out of the Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures, and we're gonna flip to Job 32. And it reads, Then Elihu, son of Barashel, the Buzite, said in reply, I have but few years, while you are old. Therefore I was too awestruck and fearful to hold forth among you. I thought, let age speak, let advanced years declare wise things. But truly, it is the spirit in men, the breath of Shaddai, that gives them understanding. It is not the aged who are wise, the elders who understand how to judge. Therefore I say, listen to me, I too would hold forth. So today's lessons are going to be also coming out of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. And once again, the mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. Both of these I picked up from rvbaypublications.com. I advise you to please check out that site. A wealth of information, jewels galore. And for those who seek, the freedom is there for you. Let's first go with the Holy Quran. Chapter 3, Elihu's lessons, the unity of life. Again Elihu met with his pupils in the sacred grove and said, No man lives unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they would not have other men do unto them. There are two selves, the higher and the lower self. The higher self is human spirit, clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. The lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of higher self, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah and man and will not pass away. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell. Their cores are full of bitterness and gall. If you would ask me what to study, I would say, yourselves. And when you have studied them, and then would ask me what to study next, I would reply, yourselves. He who knows well his lower self knows the illusions of the world, knows the things that pass away, and he who knows his higher self knows Allah, knows well the things that cannot pass away. Thrice blessed is the man who has made purity and love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self and is himself his higher self. Men seek salvation from an evil that they deem a living monster of the netherworld, and they have gods that are but demons in disguise, all powerful, yet full of jealousy and hate and lust, whose favors must be bought with costly sacrifice of fruits, and of the lives of birds and animals and humankind. And yet these gods possess no ears to hear, no eyes to see, no heart to sympathize, no power to save. This evil is a myth. These gods are made of air, clothed with shadows of a thought. The only devil from which man must redeem himself is the lower self. If man would find his devil, he must look within. His name is self. If man would find his savior, he must look within. And when the demon self has been dethroned, the savior, love, will be exalted to the throne of power. The David of the light is purity, who slays the strong Goliath of the dark, and seats the Savior, love, upon the throne. Islam? Islam. And let me also read from chapter 7 of the Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. It's titled, again, Elihu's Lessons, the Mysteries of Egypt. Again, Elihu taught. He said, the Indian priests became corrupt. Brahm was forgotten in the streets. The rights of men were trampled in the dust. And then a mighty master came, a Buddha of enlightenment, who turned away from wealth and all honors of the world, and found the silence in the graves and caves. And he was blessed. He taught the gospel of a higher life, and taught men how to honor man. He had no doctrine of the gods to teach, he just knew man. And so his creed was justice, love, and righteousness. I quote to you a few of many of the helpful words which Buddha spoke. Hate is a cruel world. Hate is a cruel word. If man hates you, regard it not, and you can turn the hate of men to love and mercy and goodwill. Mercy is as large as all the heavens, and there is good enough for all. With good destroy the bad. With generous deeds make avarice ashamed. With truth make straight the crooked lines that errors draw. For error is but truth distorted, gone astray. And pain will follow him who speaks or acts with evil thought, as does the foot of him who draws the cart. He is the greater man who conquers self than he who kills 1,000 men in war. He is the noble man who is himself what he believes that other men should be. Return to him who does you wrong your purest love, and he will cease from doing wrong. For love will purify the heart of him who is beloved as truly as it purifies the heart of him who loves. Let me read that again. Return to him who does you wrong your purest love, and he will cease from doing wrong. For love will purify the heart of him who is beloved as truly it purifies the heart of him who loves. The words of Buddha are recorded in the Indian sacred books. Attendeth them, for they are a part of the instructions of the holy breath. The land of Egypt is the land of secret things. The mysteries of the sages lie lockbound in our temples and shrines. The masters of all times and climes come here to learn. And when your sons have grown to manhood, they will finish all their studies in Egyptian schools. But I have said enough. Tomorrow at the rising of the sun, we meet again. Islam.